Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Andrea Makes Stupid-Ass Decisions of Rereading Her Childhood Books and Then Deeply Regrets It. So, I never made a video about it, but if you guys remember, I reread the Selection series in 1 week, and I thought, this was super painful and awful. I'm gonna do it with a bunch of books that I read as a child. And by a child, I mean a teenager. Some of the books that I read, if you watch the Guardians of Gahul video, maybe I'll put a card somewhere if I figure out how to do that. Some of the books that I read, I did read as a child, so those are from my childhood. Next month's books are from when I was a child. These are specifically from when I was in high school. High school reads are the worst for me to reread because there was a part of me that still wanted to seem like I cared about romance or cared about, I don't know, the same things everyone else cared about. Also, I had a limited selection at my library, although my librarian was a wonderful human being. I still wish I went to see her, actually. That's how much my high school librarian was great. That includes my high school librarian at the high school I went to before I moved to Texas. With all of that being said, I made the painful decision to read the Matched trilogy. Hey, hi, hello, my name is Mouse. I talk about books and book-related things, and today we're talking about these books. If you don't know what the Matched trilogy is about, I'm going to put the tweets where I yelled at someone about them. I'm also going to link the live reading thread down below. But if you don't know what the Match trilogy is about, essentially, in the society, everything is perfect. All decisions are made for you. You are matched with your perfect match at the age of 17, and then you are married shortly after, and then you have children at a specific time, and you are limited to a certain amount of children, and you can only have them for a certain amount of years before you run out of time. And then you're selected for a job, and you don't choose your job, you're selected for a job, and there's limited technology, because technology leads to information being fucked with. And you are given 3 sets of pills: a red pill that nobody knows what it does, a blue pill that's supposed to help you survive should you somehow get stranded somewhere, and a green pill, which is sort of like something that's supposed to help you with anxiety, basically. However, Cassia is about to... Also, I think Cassia is Hispanic, because her name is Cassia Reyes, and she is described as slightly darker skin-toned, which is interesting for a young adult book published in 2010, written by a white lady, but that's about as far as the diversity goes in these books. Cassia is getting prepared for her matched ceremony where she's going to be matched, and she gets matched with Xander, her childhood best friend. It almost never happens that you get matched with someone in your own quote-unquote borough, but she did. But then shortly thereafter, the screen goes blank and tells her that she's been matched with someone named Kai, also someone in her own borough, but he's an aberration, and he should technically not be able to have a match. It gets taken away, and they say, no, it's actually Xander. That's who you're supposed to be matched with. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Then Cassia's grandfather, he's dying, and he gives her a poem. Written word is forbidden, and it's not one of the approved poems. There is a list of approved poems and paintings, and it is a not approved poem. It is Don't Go Gently Into the Night, which is why, if you watched my preview to this video, I said that to Great Warrior laughing. What goes wrong here? So first off, Cassia is an incredibly flat and boring character. I can't stand her. She's kind of whiny, and she insta-loves with Kai, and supposedly Kai and Xander are both her childhood friends. They've been friends for a long time, but Xander, like, she blatantly talks about wanting to be matched with Xander and knowing she'll be matched with Xander. But then when the opportunity shows up that she's going to be matched with somebody else, she's like, psych, I like this boy. And then she never stops liking this boy. That's her motivation forever, is her one true love, Kai Markham. So basically they secretly continue with romance, and Kai, like, teaches her how to write. So that's great. And she's really good at sorting shit from best to worst, because I can't see why in a dystopian book that would be a terrible skill to have, to be abused by the government. Not to mention the Matrix pills. The Matrix pills would definitely not be bad in a dystopian government, but obviously they don't know it's dystopian. And then it turns out that, this is going to be riddled with spoilers, because I don't want you to read these books. Then it turns out that the government actually did that on purpose to experiment with her. They're like, we're just going to see what happens, what you do if you go away from what we programmed for you, which you didn't, because you're predictable at best. Which she is. Cassia is predictable at best. She is only love motivated. So then Kai gets sent away to the outside, the far away, the farms, I don't know. And then Cassia's family is like, if you want an opportunity to find him, then go. And so she goes, and in book 2, they're trying to find each other, and Cassia meets someone named Indy. Indy is the most interesting person in the book, and she dies. Alright? She dies. They kill her. For what? So they kill they kill Indy off in the 3rd book. But anyway, Indy is gonna steal a boat. She's gonna sail away. She's gonna be the best. She's gonna take down the government. She's amazing. Cassia is not. And it turns out that the blue pill actually slows you down until you die. So don't take that. And then it turns out that the red pill makes you forget. So don't take that either. The green pill, I think, is still just like an anti-anxiety med that enhances the other 2 pills. I'm not 100% sure. Cassia never took them, though. It also turns out that Kai is, like, directly related to the rebellion, but also Cassia's great-grandmother was the first pilot and, like, the rebellion leader 1.0. Because, of course, she is. So a lot of stuff happens. The rebellion, everyone lives except Indy, and the rebellion, like, wins, but not the rebellion, because it turns out that the rebellion is actually not the rebellion. You know how Hunger Games did that thing where it was like, government 2.0 is going to take over and it's not so great? Yeah, that's pretty much what the rebellion is for the society, and great. They take that down too, though. They get to take down both. That's how amazing these 3 teenagers are, is they take down both of them, because they're so amazing. The only interesting male character was Xander, and he did not get as much of a part as I wanted to. In the 3rd book, he was the most interesting. He helped find the cure for the plague. Oh, by the way, the blue pill is just like a secret baby version of a plague. And in a 2012 YA, a boy gets exposed to the plague, the pandemic, and he goes, I gotta wear a mask in quarantine. That's so weird that that's what you should do when you get sick, or to try not to expose others to an illness. That's so freaking weird. That's so weird. Maybe it's a government plot, though, to control them. Anyway, this book was bad. These books were bad. They were fucking long, too. They were long as hell. At least with the selection, they were not that long. The selection audiobooks were only like 7 hours long each, and so when I was listening to them on 3 times speed, it really wasn't that bad. These, the first 2 are 10 hours long, and the second one is 13 hours long, and even on 3 times speed, it was too long. The first book is told entirely from Cassia's perspective. She's so boring. And then the second book is told from Cassia and Kai's perspective, and then the third book is told from Cassia, Kai, and Xander's perspective, Xander being the only interesting one besides Indy, who again they kill. Thanks, Ali Condi, you killed your only interesting character, so now Xander has to take her place as interesting, because Cassia and Kai are love-motivated and the worst. Anyway, they also trade in poetry. They trade, like, food for poetry. Poetry. And there's this whole secret underground trade service of, like, poetry. And Cassia feels so cool because she's the poet. She can write poetry. So she's like so creative and amazing and good because she can write poetry. And while it doesn't have any worth now, it will later. I fucking hated Cassia. I wish she died. Like, Indy should have lived. Indy kisses Kai at some point, and I would have liked to go down that path. Kai would have liked to go down that path. He even mentions it. He mourns Indy openly while with Cassia. Cassia's like, oh, I get it, because sometimes I'm sad that I'm not with Xander, too. No, bitch. No. The straights and the teenagers don't deserve rights. Thanks. Most specifically the teenagers, though. Like, can we stop letting teenagers save the world? Do you think if the teenagers were at the Capitol on Tuesday? When was that? Wednesday? Time isn't real. Do you think if the teenagers tried to storm the Capitol, they would have done it and solved all of our political problems? We just need one 16-year-old to fix America, I guess. Just one 16-year-old to fix America. Anyway, these books were painful. I can't wait to return them to the library. I purchased the last book on Audible, and Audible won't let me return it. So I have to chat with Audible because I desperately need to return it. So, with that being said, this is the book I read for my childhood rereads this month in January. In February, I will be reading Peter Pan and the Starcatchers, by Dave Barry. So you can look forward to that. I will probably have a different filming setup. This was just because I was too lazy and my webcam is high quality. So, thank you for coming. If you liked this, if you liked the beautiful video montage that I did in the beginning, thanks. You should tell me down below. Liked this video? Don't forget to like and subscribe and share for my pain. I need it. Don't forget to turn the notification buttons on also because sometimes they turn themselves off. I will see you guys next month. For my next childhood rereads. Like I said, it's going to be Peter Pan and the Starcatchers. If you want to read along with me, that'd be super cool. I'll see you there. Okay, thanks, bye. Have a great week. Don't forget to unclench your jaw and drink some water.